Hi folks, this is Dragon. Joe, a member of the forum, was kind enough to donate some Mylar bags to me late last year to see what I could do with them. In a conversation with him on the forum, one of my concerns was that using Mylar bags for MRE packs or first aid equipment, anything like that that you want to store in these Mylar bags to keep them waterproof and protected, was resealing them in the bush. If you need to open the bag, that applies to if you've got first aid supplies that you're keeping in there. As I mentioned on a previous video last year with the food straws, packaging leaves a lot to be desired, particularly if you're out in the bush, weekend bushwalking, camping, survival situation, if you're out foraging or salvaging gear, you're carrying this stuff. This packaging really isn't designed for that sort of work. If it gets wet, then you know, it's been compromised. The MRE bags, Mylar bags, are very, very good, very strong bags. In fact, a few years ago, before the Mylar bags became economically available in Australia through gel on eBay, we used to seal stuff. This is dried fruit. We did about 4 years ago, dried apricots in these plastic bags using a back sealer. A few problems with those. You seal anything in there with sharp edges like pasta or even some of the dried fruit and vegetables that dry to the point where they've got a sharp point on them. They puncture the plastic bag and you lose your seal. So the Mylar bags, I highly recommend them. Very tough, rugged bag. And in saying that, as Gel did on his YouTube video last year, making up MRE packs, they do need a lot of heat to seal them, so the normal back sealers that we use these for won't work on these. So, what I've done, I made up single meal packs. This has got oats in it. I've dated it. It was done in December last year, and sealed it myself. You can do single meal packs, or you can do MRE packs, or whatever the case may be. The point being, again, is that if you don't consume all that meal in the bush, or your MRE pack, you don't consume all of the items out of there, then you need some way to reseal it again in the bush. So I gave it some thought, and best thing I could come up with is, because these need a lot of heat to seal them, was to heat a spoon up, a metal spoon. Now, most of us would carry some sort of spoon, I would guess, whether it be a metal spork type spoon, teaspoon, dessert spoon or tablespoon, something like that. So I tried it this morning. The best thing I could come up with was heat the spoon over a heat source, like a fire. A candle would do it. Any liquid fuel type based heating or cooking appliances that you use in the bush, and just heat it over there like that. Bear in mind that metal handle gets hot, so you need something to insulate your hand against that. It has to be quite hot. Then what you do is press down with the spoon like that. You might have to heat the spoon a few times depending on the size of the bag you want to reseal. Just rub it along like you would an iron. Doesn't look very neat. compared to a proper heat sealer, but it's sealed. So I can't even break that seal open. No, that's good. So that's one way of sealing it in the bush, folks. Don't use all the items in there or consume all the food in there, or whatever else you may be carrying, first aid bandages and stuff. You can reseal them using that method. Very quick, very simple. All you need is a flat top, a rock, bit of timber, something like that, and it reseals. So if you can zoom in on there, that's the seal there done with the spoon. Doesn't look as neat as this, but that is sealed. So that keeps the integrity of whatever you're storing in these bags. Now that I've covered that, sometimes when we're doing road trips or something like that, we tend to go with individual meal packs. Now, as I said before, I made this one up. You can throw a bit of fruit in there, dehydrated fruit, sugar, a bit of milk powder, date it so that any of the ingredients you put in there, you know roughly when the expiry date is. Or you can go with the commercial packets. These are flavoured oats. Again, the packaging is no good for rugged work in vehicles or in EDC bags, backpacks, BOBs, that sort of thing. It's only paper, so it tears very, very quickly. In fact, that one's torn now, just rubbing in my hands. That seal is broken there. You can zoom in on that one. See that one there? Okay. The advantage of these is that when you want to consume a meal, cut the top off. Just turn this off. I pre-made this one using oats. I just put plain oats in this because that's the way I like to eat them. Don't like a lot of sweet stuff. Pour some hot water in there. Let it sit for a few minutes. Now, I must warn you that when you do that, this gets very hot, painfully hot on your hands. So take care that you don't burn your hands. Stand it up and just let it sit for a couple of minutes. Let the water hot water soak through and do its job. You can do the same with noodles, packet soup mixes, that sort of stuff. Your own home-dried food, fruit, or any other food. I'm not sure about. I haven't tried homemade biltong or jerky. You've got to be careful with that sort of stuff as to its shelf life. But if you've got a good recipe, you know it keeps very well. You can also cut that up and then throw it in there and just rehydrate it with some boiling water. Now after a while, when it's cooled down, and obviously if it's too hot to handle, it's too hot to eat, that's still quite warm. And that's the oats there, okay? Nice. You can also, when you empty these bags, use them again. Why not? Give them a good wash out, dry them out thoroughly, seal them up again like we did with the spoon if you're out in the bush or out on foraging or salvaging teams, or even in a homesteading situation where we haven't got any grid power. You can still use this method to reuse and reseal these Mylar bags. So I highly recommend them. They are very rough, very rugged, a lot stronger than these, and they do the job very well. I'm going to have some more of this, folks. I'll see you later.